Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Iggy's Toy Parade and Soldier Review. This is your host, Iggy. I want to thank you for subscribing to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, why not join the Iggy Army and get Iggy with it? Today, we're going to be talking about Dragon Models Limited. They're 1/6 scale World War II figures, of which I have 5 to show you today. And let's get busy. First up, Budapest or Budapest. I'm not sure how they say it, but 1945, the Germans launched their last invasion or counteroffensive, I should say. The Russians were on the verge of taking the city. The nice thing about these figures is that they have a short, brief description of the campaign in which the figure is depicting here. And in this case, he's a Hauptscharführer of the Totenkopf-Division, and he's an NCO, so he's an Unteroffizier. And let me see if I can get a good close-up of the figure. His name is Herman, and he's got a little bit of a shadow there and a scar on his face. His uniform has nice details. He's an SS soldier. You can see the cuff sleeve there for the Totenkopf or Death's Head division. He's got the fall pattern camo pants on. An MG44. He's got the Russian style cap. I'll show it over here to you guys. Let's see here. So it says Maschinenpistole 44 assault rifle. That's a nice looking weapon. Hitler was really opposed to these kinds of weapons because he thought the men would waste ammunition. So they went into a modern war with World War I technology by using the 98. Well, they used the 98K, which is the carbine. And so it shows the M43 stick grenade and his winter combat trousers. Now this figure was produced, these figures by the way are produced in 1999 and in 2000. This particular figure of Herman was produced in 2000. So let's take one last look at Herman here. It's really hard to get a good view of him because the light reflects considerably off the window box here. Okay, let's look at another figure. We'll put this one on the floor and we'll take a look at Fritz. Now Fritz is representative of a Obersturmführer, and his name is Fritz, and he's from the Viking Division, Panzer Officer, Poland, 1944. And this one is also from 1999. And the artwork, by the way, is excellent. It's done by Ron Volstad, and he's an excellent artist, I think, an illustrator. And he talks about the tankers uniform and a little bit about what took place and what is being represented here. So let's take a look at this. Now, tankers all had, in the beginning of the war at least, they all wore a uniform like this one. And in the early stages of the war, the invasion of Poland, they wore what looked like a floppy beret. And eventually they dropped that, being somewhat impractical, I guess. And there's his communication gear for the radio and for intercommunication with the crew. And tankers always carried pistols. Some will tell you they carried pistols because if their tank caught fire, or brewed up, as I guess the English called it, they would use their pistol to commit suicide instead of burning to death. Is that true? I don't know. I carried a pistol when I was a tanker. If I was on fire, I think I would definitely use it in a manner as prescribed by the allegedly true story of why they carried them. They wouldn't be able to carry rifles because where would you put them? There's no room for them. It's like in our tank, we had a grease gun, which was wildly inaccurate, by the way. I fired it on the range, and I think I killed a lot of dirt. Okay, now something that I don't care for with the dragon figures is their faces look somewhat like Westworld, a robotic appearance to them. They're too flawless. You see there that they have no wrinkles, no blemishes, no discoloring of any sorts. His hair has remarkable detail. Let me see if I can you see that? There's really nice detail on his hair. All right, let's flip it over and see what the back of the box calls to us. It shows that he's got the short field jacket. Someone with a stomach like mine would never be able to wear that. Although I was skinny at one time, but skinniness goes with youth or extreme age. Okay, next one up is Folke. And well, there's a lot of SS in this group. This is also Hungary, 1945. The Totenkopf-Division Grenadier, and he's a Schütze, which means private, and his name is Folke. And he's wearing the fall pattern smock or jacket. Instead of jackboots, he has gaiters. Similar idea to what the British were wearing. He also has a Panzerfaust, which means tank fist in English. My friend Doug, his dad told me that in the village where he lived, there was forested areas, and he said the forest was littered with these things. At the end of the war, everyone was just dropping stuff and going home. A luxury that people in Berlin did not have. You've all seen the photographs of what the SS were doing to people that were giving up. All right, well, this is a nice figure. He's got the gloves. Man, I'm trying to get that. It's awful the way the light reflects off these things. Look at the price, $48. And of course, his face is Very flawless. He's got a hand grenade, bread bag. He's wearing some of his gear. What's up there? Oh, his helmet's up there. Okay. And this shows the winter parka. Some egg grenades, that's interesting. And this model is from 2000. All right, well, I think we can get away from the SS now. I'm not sure why I had so many of those. A lot of my figures were stolen. I'll talk about that at the end. All right, so this is the Crimea, where the Southern Army Group got trapped because of the collapse of the front around Stalingrad. These men in the south that penetrated more in the southern direction, they were trapped. And what they did to the Russians in the Crimea, the Russians then returned the favor later. This figure's name is Gerhard. He's a Wehrmacht Panzerjäger, which means he's part of a squad that would destroy tanks. He's got a magnetic mine. That takes some huevos rancheros, though, to attach one of those to a tank, especially if it's moving. And he's an Unterfeldwebel, which means he's a corporal. And we'll take a look at him. And this is the Ron Volstad illustration. Very good. His work is excellent. And, of course, he details things about the uniform and gives a nice description of everything. And he's got a camo cover for his helmet. Can you see that? It's really difficult to pick it up because the light keeps reflecting off the plastic. So if you try and get it under the light, all you see is that blob, that white egg-shaped blob. And he's got an MP40. Squad leaders would carry a weapon such as that. And here we show the field blouse. Anti-tank assault charge. This figure is from 1999. All right, let's put Gerhard back up here and go to Klaus. And Klaus is from the invasion of Russia on Operation Barbarossa, which Barbarossa means Redbeard. I think Barbarossa was originally an emperor in the Holy Roman Empire in the early days of the Holy Roman Empire. 1941, this is Klaus. And he's wearing a uniform from the early days of the war. What's interesting about Hollywood movies is they always dress Germans in this uniform, and they fail to take into account that later in the war, the German uniforms became a very wild assortment of various things put together. A lot of uniforms didn't fit properly because they were having to recycle and do all sorts of measures to save, to economize. Here's Klaus. I'm not sure if this is riveting video when you're not really able to see the figure that well. And here is a Ron Volstad illustration and his description of his uniform and equipments. He also provides line drawings on the back of each box. Okay. And this is our final one. Now, I mentioned that I used to have more of these, but they were stolen. And what happened is that on the night before I was to leave my storage space, it was broken into, and I think it was broken into by the son of the woman who ran the complex. And the door was removed from its hinges. I'm presuming that he used a electric drill to take the hinges off the door, and then it just swings open. And he took Hans, which was the first figure I ever purchased. I've mentioned in earlier videos Cowboy Carl, and Cowboy Carl is the one who sold me Hans. I'd never seen him, or not Cowboy Carl, but Hans in a store, and he had gone to a hobby store and bought some, and he sold it to me and to my friend Doug. And that one was stolen. I had a figure named Wolf, or Wolf. I had 2 of those figures, and it was stolen. I had 2 Klaus, which were stolen. And I had a figure named Gerhardt, which was stolen. I did subsequently buy another Klaus, which I showed you. The guy also stole a deep sea dive, the KB Toys deep sea diver. You know, the one with the actual brass helmet. And my mom had bought that for me. It was one of the last things she ever purchased for me. She bought it for me. When did she get it for me? I think in September. And then she passed away the following January. And that little creep in the storage space to it. Now, I went to the police and said, we can't do anything. You know, every time I've had to go to the police about something stolen, we don't have the resources. Yeah. Why not? You're too busy giving traffic tickets? I said that because I was really mad, and that did not go over well for me. So I had to shut up and get out of there. Anyway, so 6 figures stolen plus 2 G.I. Joes, and the police did nothing. When I demanded to see the security footage from the camera outside of my storage space to see who went in there that night, the manager said, that camera's not working. And I thought, how convenient. The camera wasn't working. Anyway, I'm still bitter about it, and that happened, 28 years ago? Jeez. Anyway, it was 27 years ago. Jeez Louise. Anyway, so that's my dragon figures. I do have a few more in storage, but not many. The reason why I didn't buy many of these is they were $50. They would if you could get a deal on it, it would be like $40, but most of them were $50. And for that much money, I could buy 2 Classic Collection G.I. Joes. So that's why I didn't get very many of them. I had 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I had 27 dragon figures, and 6 of them were stolen, so I still have 21, of which I just showed you 5. Okay, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for coming along and getting Iggy with it. I appreciate you sharing your time with me, and I hope all of you are doing well. I'll see you out on the dusty trail, and I'll meet you back at the ranch. Bye, guys.